Today we're going to cover the steps of writing, the writing process for our first essay that we will start next week, which is going to be a choice essay. Now, the first essay, I am requiring that you follow all the steps of the writing like we're going to start today. But then after that, you can kind of pick and choose what steps do you think are important for you as a writer? What are some things that you can skip and because you can do them in your head? But for this first essay, like I said, we are going to cover all the steps and I'm going to kind of force you to do all the steps of writing. So let's cover the major steps to writing. Of course, the first topic or the first step is to choose a topic. You know, a lot of times your instructor may give you the topic. They may give you some choices, or they may kind of give you a broad category and you have to choose some topics within that. Make sure it's a topic that interests you or that you can relate to, or one that you seem curious about, because you're going to be spending time writing this essay. Of course, so you want a topic that means something to you. Your book talks about some other things that you can read through this list of how to choose a topic. But for the most part, in most of your classes in college, you're going to be assigned an area at least. It's not going to be so broad. The second step is to narrow your topic. And of course, you need to know the length of your essay. What is required from you? For our essays, probably the first one is going to be around 2 to 3 pages. So keep in mind that. Have you come up with too broad of a category? Do you need to narrow it down? Or is it too specific that you need to broaden it out a little bit? Your book talks about some different ways to narrow your topic. One is the branching diagram, which is exactly what it sounds like. You put your topic there, and if it's too broad, you branch off of it. For example, let's say the topic of divorce. Well, that's much too broad. There's books on divorce. How could we narrow that down? What are some things we could branch off of it? Maybe it is the effects of divorce. Maybe that's too broad and we need to branch even further and just say the effects of divorce on children. Or maybe we want to do the steps of getting a divorce, kind of a how-to paper. Another method, which is mentioned in your book, is on page 105 to 106, and that's the question method. Ask yourself questions about that topic to try to narrow your topic. So again, choose a topic, step 1. Step 2, narrow your topic. Step 3, what is your purpose in writing? There are 3 main purposes: to express yourself, to inform your reader, or to persuade your reader. Can an essay have more than one purpose? Of course. For this first essay that we're going to be doing, it's probably just going to be to express or to inform. However, later on in the semester, when we write the research paper, you may be doing all 3 of those: persuading, informing, and expressing. Step 4, who is your audience? Because your audience is who you gear the style or the tone to. Don't always assume that your audience is your instructor. For example, in a government class, you may be required to write an essay on a particular issue, and your instructor tells you that your audience is going to be a congressman or a leader in your city, and you're talking about a specific issue within that city. Of course, your audience is ultimately your instructor who's grading it, but he or she may want you to have a different perspective with which to write towards that audience. Step 5, what is your point of view? There's 3 main points of view. Again, we talked about these when we looked at pronouns. First person, told from the writer's point of view, and of course you're going to be using that pronoun I. Second person would be when you're explaining a process and you would be directly talking to the reader, saying the pronoun you. Third person, which is less personal but more formal, you're going to stay away from the I or you and use he, she, and they. Now, I would say that 90% of all of your writing in your college or academic career is going to be in third person point of view. However, in our class, you are able to write in first person point of view because it's more of a kind of creative writing class. 1301 is geared to kind of getting your feet wet with writing and being more comfortable with writing and creating that style and choosing your voice. But in 1302, in the spring, when we look at 1302, we're going to look in more third person point of view. Nothing you write will be in first person. So again, The primary point of view that you write in academic career is third person. However, in this class, you are able to write in first person point of view. Now, this may be how you feel. You've picked a topic, you've narrowed it, you know your purpose, you know your audience, and you've got a point of view. But where do you start now? And so the next few slides tell you 10 pre-writing techniques. I want you to understand what each of these techniques are, but you are only going to have to choose one for your choice essay that we will begin next week. So keep in mind which one of these seems to work best with you. The first one is free writing. That's non-stop writing. I'd say about 30 seconds. You've got your topic, you've narrowed it, you know what you're going to do with the paper. Now you're just trying to generate ideas. Spend 30 seconds writing down as much as you can about that topic. You're not concerned with spelling or punctuation or capitalization. You're just getting your ideas out. The second type of pre-writing is mapping and clustering. This may be for you visual learners who like to kind of draw or to look at things spatially. Start with a topic and then branch off of it into what you think of or what comes to your mind as you're trying to generate ideas. The third type is brainstorming. It's also known as the list method. This would be more for you analytical people who like to have a checklist each day. You're not necessarily writing in complete sentences, you're just recording phrases and emotions and reactions to the things that you come up with in your list. Number 4 is group brainstorming. Maybe you're a social learner. Maybe you like to feed ideas off each other. This would be the type of pre-writing that may work for you, generating ideas from other people. Number 5, like the narration or the narrowing of things, questioning after you've got your narrowed topic. Now ask yourself questions about that topic to generate ideas. Number 6 is writing assertions. You probably won't use this method of pre-writing unless you're doing a research paper like an argumentative paper, or maybe later on when you're in college and you maybe go into law or criminal justice. I could see you using this type of pre-writing, but it's just forcing you to look at things from another point of view. So let's say you're writing an argumentative paper on the reasons why you feel that teachers should be able to bring a gun to school for protection. If you were writing assertions, you're going to force yourself to look at it from the other point of view to try to generate different ideas. Number 7 is an interview. Maybe you've been asked to write a research paper over some specific causes of the Vietnam War, and you have a great uncle or a great grandfather who served in the Vietnam War. You could interview him and ask him ideas and ask him some suggestions to get information to help you with that pre-writing process. Number 8 basically is a summary of our class. The rest of our class, we're going to be looking at the different patterns of development. And so if later on you want to look at things from these perspectives, that might help. But this pattern really won't be useful for us right now, since we're going to be studying each pattern separately. Number 9 is visualizing or sketching. Maybe it just means closing your eyes and thinking about that topic and visualizing things on that topic, trying to think about what you actually see, and that's what you write down. And last but not least, maybe you just have to do the old-fashioned way of research, looking in the library, looking online at books and magazines, videos, and of course databases to generate ideas about your topic from other sources. So again, the 5 main steps of writing: choose a topic, narrow your topic, know your purpose, your point of view, and your audience, and then generating ideas through one of the 10 pre-writing techniques.